Yo, what is good, world? It's your boy, Calvin Leroy King the third, and as always, I have my lovely co-hostess with the mostest by my side, Miss Reese PC, the one and only.
Hey, y'all.
And we thank y'all for tuning in and turning up for another dope episode of This, That, and the Third, the lifestyle show that gives you life. Literally. Now, we're going to begin the show in the best fashion we know how, and that's by bringing in some new news for all y'all new news out there, all right? So, Reese, what's topping off our news segment this week?
The war in politics, right? So, as you all should know, if you haven't been under a rock, that Andrew Gilliam, a Florida A&M graduate, was picked for the Democratic spot for governor.
Hey, Rattlers.
Right? And he was the Tallahassee mayor. So he was a mayor. Now he's running for governor.
That's what's up. That's
right,
what's up.
so this really stood out because his opponent, Ron DeSantis, anyway, Trump's pick. Did you hear him say on the news, like, the last thing we need to do is monkey this up by trying to embrace a socialist agenda. Did you hear him say this?
Monkey this up? What does that mean?
Don't know.
This nigga doesn't belong in this
Don't
seat.
know.
That's what that means.
Why?
He's the coolest monkey in politics.
I feel like the word monkey and black folks are becoming...
We've been over this.
Like, too close. It's ridiculous.
We've been over this. I mean, at the end of the day, man, shots fired.
Yeah.
And I think that the best thing that brother Gilliam can do is take the high road, all right?
He did. He didn't respond.
Okay.
He was really like, you know... People gonna say what they're gonna say.
Yeah.
The fact is, we won and we got the spot, and so obviously people are upset. And
nah, the boo boo, nigga.
Yeah, we here. So what I thought was interesting, not only with this particular election, but I saw on John Oliver last week tonight.
Yeah. That's
Love
a funny
that
name,
show,
Z.
right?
Dude, call.
It's funny.
Dude, call.
He talked about the fact about how many felons, right, don't have the right to vote.
True.
Then he went to Florida, how Florida has like 1.6 million people who are convicted felons and don't have their right. But Florida has the process to get those rights back. Did you know that? Let's talk about this process.
Let me find out Florida progressive.
Kind of, but not really.
So it's a trap.
You have to wait 6 years after you get out.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, social bankruptcy.
You have to wait to apply to get your rights.
To get in line.
Then you apply, then you have to go down to Tallahassee, turn in the paperwork so that you can go to court and be seen. So once you turn in the paperwork, it may be 6 months to a year before you can be seen. So
it's a party.
This is a 6 to 8 year process.
Say
that.
Yeah.
Then once you've been seen, there's not like a board. There's the governor and like two other people, two of his homeboys, right?
The deputy governor and his cousin.
To review these cases. Now, if you have 1.6, and I'm not sure if that was the exact number, but it was more than 1 million. People who are applying or potentially applying, right? Who's reviewing all that?
This governor or governors and governor cabinet, let's say, is supposed to review all of these cases.
Yeah, those who apply. Not to say that everybody's applying for their rights back, but
even if a small percentage, that's still a lot of people.
For a
nigga that has a full-time job running a state.
Okay, so they showed us the process. Now, there's no rules that they go by and say, oh, if they met this criteria, they're working full-time.
It's just a feel.
None of that. It's a feel.
It's a feel.
It's how they feel if you've earned your right back.
Right.
That is the bullshit.
You know what's interesting about that, too, is that with all the punch list items that a governor is responsible for, where in that priority list is let me go see felons who probably don't fuck with me. You know, because all the moves that politicians usually make are in attempts to get more backing, more following, more votes. So one, you can't vote right now, so that helps me if you don't fuck with me. And I'm supposed to meet with you to possibly reinstate your voting so you can vote against me? Fuck out of here.
Well, so they showed an example of an elderly black man. They didn't mention his crime or whatever he did,
Willie.
But he's applying to get his rights back. And I would say he's mid-60s, early 70s, right? So he's been waiting for some time.
You know, whistled at a white woman.
And the governor was just like, well, you know, I don't feel like, I'm not really feeling it today. That was his answer.
I haven't had breakfast.
So the guy was like, well, Governor, can I ask you a question? He said, sure. He said, well, you know, how does a person who's trying or who has been doing the right thing, going to work, you know, being a good citizen, being a good person and taking care of my family, what else is it that I have to do to get these rights back? Like,
what do you want from me?
When will you feel like I've earned it? I mean, he asked that.
Right.
And the governor was just like,
I'll let you know.
Sure.
I'll DM you.
John Oliver went in, to say the least.
Yeah.
Like that, because that's ridiculous.
Somebody's, like, I ain't gonna say livelihood, but it's a part of their humanity is hanging in the balance because of your feelings, my nigga.
And if you have to pay taxes, you should be able to vote.
Facts.
Period.
Facts.
The felons shouldn't have to pay taxes.
On the real.
Like, some of these things are just ridiculous. So
yeah, it's a trap. It's a trap.
Hopefully, maybe, and then with this particular governor, let's say the governor before him, they saw like over 100,000 cases and gave those rights back. This governor only seen like 4,000.
How long has he been in office?
A long damn time.
Long enough.
So that's not his priority, clearly.
Damn,
so
obviously.
hopefully with Andrew Gilliam or whoever else comes in next,
right,
that can be something that they really push and talk about.
Man, Gilliam gonna get in there and let my people go. That's what he gonna give us free. But at the end of the day, politics is a business, man. But you know what else is a business? Weed. I was riding down. I had to be not Archer. What's the diagonal street by Western? Is that Ogden?
Ogden or Archer?
I think I was riding through Ogden, and it just said medical marijuana. I was like, damn, that sign is aggressive. Like, it's here. It's here to stay. And I thought that was like a greenhouse, but I'm like, no, medical marijuana is prescription-based only, blah, blah, blah. And, but it's coming. No, it's coming, and weed is a business, man. Get down or lay down.
Yeah, so Las Vegas has racked in over 140% of what they expected to do in sales. So they
140%?
Yeah, they went over.
Excuse me.
They made $70 million in tax revenue.
Can we slow clap Las Vegas?
Yeah.
I swear on everything. It's been a long time coming, and you knew this change was going to come because weed doesn't kill. Weed makes you chill.
And it's not the gateway drug to none of that other stuff.
None of that stuff. If you were going to do that stuff, you were going to do it with or without weed. Let's be real.
Yeah,
let's be real. If you're sucking dick for coke, it's not because of weed, man. No. Please, stop blaming weed.
No, it's not. So, yeah, that was just something I saw, and I thought, you know, take note.
Well, jumping back into politics real quick, you know we lost a soldier. Now, it's crazy because I say soldier and I'm paying homage and, you know, this is a military veteran and he put on, you know what I'm saying, the best way he knew how. And it's just hard to kind of see that when he's an op in his political campaign against your particular candidate. Right. And then when you kind of take a step back and the smoke clears, you're like, well, damn, this was a man. This was a human. This was an American.
Yeah. I will say that watching Senator John McCain's funeral services, one, you're right. When he was going against Obama, I was like,
fuck you, John McCain.
Right? You know,
get your little hand.
Not feeling him.
Get your little left side of your body ass up out of here, man.
But
we ain't fucking with it.
No, I wasn't. I really wasn't.
Nobody was fucking with John McCain because it's a smear campaign. It's like, don't talk about Obama, bro.
Well, but I did respect him because he did speak up when people were, you know, having stuff to say about him. Before that, he was. I'm not gonna say I disliked him always because I understood his policy and politics, but just when he was running against Obama. Yeah. But what I love about him and his family is, one, he planned his own funeral.
He knew he was on his way out. He knew he was on his way out.
Together, and what does that mean? This is a prime example of a family that has been for generations wealthy, right? And now they're going to continue, like the generational wealth thing, like just being prepared and planned. And I think Aretha and other people of other races should also plan and be prepared because that's how you set your family up.
And that's my thing, man. Like, the one guaranteed in life is death. So why does our people in our community act like no preparation needs to be put towards the fact that you will eventually die and people will still be here? Like, I think that a lot of us are selfish enough to be like, man, I'm going to run it up. I'm going to run the tab up. I'm going to have this upside down ass mortgage, these car notes, this wide bam. all these kids, and I'm out of here due to diabetes and cholesterol, and y'all go ahead and divvy that up, right? Yeah. Versus being like, yo, one, my lifestyle. I don't need, if you living for yourself and you living for what makes you happy and joyful and you find that peace, it's not a lot of these material things that provide that. If you go after the happiness, those material things will pursue you, in my opinion. Then you're living this nice lifestyle, you're living below your means, you're able to stack your bread, you're able to thrive in the moment and in the now, and then you're able to be mindful and forward thinking or progressive enough to say, look, I know I'm getting up there in age. I lived a full life. Bam. I'm going to put some investment vehicles in place for my family so that despite slavery, despite civil rights, despite first generation college students, despite all that shit that we've triumphed through, now I'm mindful enough to say, hey, as the patriarch or matriarch of my family, when I leave, y'all finna catch a bag. And it's not y'all gonna catch a bag that has no names on it. I'm going to allocate this shit to maybe my firstborn or my son. Motherfucker got my surname, gets to decide my estate. You know what I'm saying? Put your affairs in order is what I'm saying. Please. And there's no better way to jumpstart generational wealth and leave a legacy behind than through a life insurance policy, man. I don't care who you go with. I don't care what type you go with. And there are different kinds. And we talked to Fred about, all that type of stuff. But at the end of the day, man, when I go, I want it to be a blessing. I want the best party that I ever thrown to be my funeral. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because people know, man, this nigga went to heaven, he died empty, and he left us a bag. Congratulations. You know what I'm saying? Glad to see you go. Yeah. But I don't think that we do that often enough, if ever.
We don't. Another thing that I, really quick, just before we wrap it up on McCain, did you see the speech from President Bush and Obama?
With a code. He lived by a set of public virtues that brought strength and purpose to his life and to his country. He was courageous, with a courage that frightened his captors and inspired his countrymen. He was honest, no matter whom it offended. Presidents were not spared. He was honorable, always recognizing that his opponents were still patriots and human beings. He loved freedom with the passion of a man who knew its absence. He respected the dignity inherent in every life, a dignity that does not stop at borders and cannot be erased by dictators. Perhaps above all, John detested the abuse of power.
I didn't watch the speech.
So President Bush actually had a really nice, it was 7 minutes, Obama's was 22 minutes.
Lost for words.
Really good 7
Not
minutes.
as articulate as he thought he was.
It was really good though.
Right.
And coming from Bush, coming from one of them, he said, y'all should be ashamed. If y'all were friends with McCain and y'all around here acting as if you don't see what this administration is doing, you should be ashamed and you should be disgraced.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but McCain kind of was opposed to Trump.
He
stood against a lot of his shit.
He spoke up. But I mean, he was getting sick. So just imagine.
Every word was like a day off of his life.
Imagine if he was in his heyday. He would be going head with Trump. So Bush spoke to that and, had everybody in there kind of heads down. Obama, he made them all feel like shit.
I came from a broken home and never knew my father. John was the scion of one of America's most distinguished military families. I have a reputation for keeping cool. John, not so much. We were standard bearers of different American political traditions, and throughout my presidency, John never hesitated to tell me when he thought I was screwing up, which by his calculation was about once a day. But for all our differences, for all the times we sparred, I never tried to hide, and I think John came to understand the long-standing admiration that I had for him. By his own account, John was a rebellious young man. In his case, that's understandable. What
Right.
So it was really good to hear from those two.
Yeah.
Then you had Meghan McCain, who spoke. It was really emotional. And
That's the sister?
That's the
daughter.
the
daughter.
Yeah, and what she said was,
my daddy dead.
no.
Say that, but it would have been true.
No,
He's dead as fuck.
She said the America of McCain was already great. So how?
She speaks quietly because she is strong. America does not boast because she has no need to. The America of John McCain has no need to be made great again because America was always great.
Now, this is my thing. Not in the politics with shits, all that, blah, blah, blah. I know that this, what is the, Nixon?
Yeah.
Only in America.
Yeah.
Only in America, right? So we know those things. We know Trump for the Make America Great Again. Did you know that that was an original campaign slogan for Clinton?
I didn't know that.
Do your research, watchers. I swear on everything. That was said and kind of jacked from some of the verbiage and shit that Clinton used to really use as his platform was, we're going to make America great again.
You know what they did say, though, that I didn't like at Aretha's funeral? They referred to Clinton as the first black president.
Yeah.
Like, he sent so many black people to jail.
Yeah, low key, lowest of keys, that motherfucker was the devil. I'm just going to say
I
it.
just was like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
I didn't watch that foolery.
Yeah, he did a lot of schmoozing and rubbing of elbows with the right people that made you feel comfortable with him. He was cool. He was getting head.
Yeah.
He was doing the sack shit. But low key, he definitely turned that pipeline to prison into a reality.
Yes, seriously.
Fuck you, Clinton. We love Hillary though. We don't?
As senator.
Ah, yes.
When
Stay in your lane.
her day.
Stay in your lane, bitch. All right. Moving along to China. They have a plan. They always seem to have one. What's
Okay,
going on with
so
China?
Maybe the next show, I'm going to do a whole segment on what's going on in China because I don't think America is ready. I don't think the world is really ready. So this new president, side note, a lot of the people who ran against him are coming up missing, coming up dead, right?
Can't find him.
And he is now getting a bill to eliminate term limits.
Yeah, I did hear about that. You told me about that.
The last time they had that, it was a dictator in office, and they fought so hard to get him out because it was like a tyranny, right?
Yeah.
So to me, it's like the same thing. Now, China has been slowly but surely rebuilding their infrastructure and their economy, right? Low key, ain't said nothing, ain't spread the word about what's going on. I've been seeing a lot of articles about how China's investing in Africa. So I saw on Vice last night, Rwanda is one of the largest importer of secondhand clothes. They had like, it would look like junk to us, right?
Secondhand clothes like hand-me-downs?
Like T-shirts, they get it from the U.S., from Canada, from Europe.
So this is like when they have the T-shirts printed just in case these niggas win the Super Bowl, but these people end up actually winning it. We gonna just throw that shit to Rwanda?
It's jerseys, it's T-shirts, it's a Cubs shirt.
Irregular-ass items.
They're
the TJ Maxx of confidence.
Yeah, so I don't know if, like, say TJ Maxx, all this stuff ain't selling and they ship it out. It's like something like that, maybe. But only 40% of the population can only afford secondhand stuff.
Oh, they're impoverished.
Very much so.
As fuck.
Okay, and so get this. But the president now, Paul Kagame, wants to move past this, right? He wants Rwanda to compete worldwide economically and not, he feels like, we deserve more than just secondhand shit, right? So at first it was a tax 20 cents per item. He's changed that to $2.50.
Right.
Well, that's hurting all of the business owners who buy this stuff to sell it to their customers. Now they have to double
what
the
they
price
selling.
to the customers because he's really trying to banish this, right? And so because he put a tariff on it, Trump put a tariff on all of our stuff
Tit for
that they're
tat.
getting. Right.
Tit for tat. From Rwanda or from China?
From Rwanda.
What do we get from Rwanda besides the DVD Hotel Rwanda?
Apparently we get shoes. They have all type of imports that we get from them. I didn't know this.
Holy moly.
Okay, so that's one side of it. The other side are the original designers who are opening up boutiques and shops. Well, they are thriving because the secondhand stuff is cutting into their business. Well, I was watching this and I was like, well, but if only 40% of the population can afford secondhand, why are you? I don't get it.
Yeah.
I get what they're trying to do and trying to become, but I think the process is just wrong. It's like they're stepping on one to build the other. So China has stepped in. China's the 5th largest trading partner with them. They've invested over $400 billion.
Excuse me.
And this past July, the president made a visit to Rwanda, and he's the first Chinese leader ever to visit.
Right.
So
that was the caption I saw with the leaders from Africa and China, and they said they invest billions of dollars into the African economy.
Yes.
Damn, I should start reading the articles instead of just the headlines.
Well, and so China have their companies opening up in Rwanda, and they're exporting from there as well.
Please believe they have a plan.
They do, because my thing is China doesn't have to go to other countries to open up anything.
We're good here.
The fact that they're monopolizing the spaces in these countries is telling me that these countries have something, or is something else going on.
It's a bigger,
plan.
It's a bigger plan in play, because just think about it, like there is a Chinatown in every major metropolitan city already in the United States. So like just think of those as campuses or surrogates or satellite countries. And if the uprise were to come, these motherfuckers would be at your door with swords. You know what I'm saying? Not knives, not guns. Swords, my nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Those may come from Japan, but I'm culturally ignorant. But I'm just saying, at the end of the day, Z,
we gotta watch what's going on.
You have to pay attention, dog. They have surrogates ready to do whatever to your rice meal.
Really, really, really want Africa to stay independent. Stop.
Wishful thinking from Reese.
Business, mutual partnership, yes, but don't. I don't want you to have to depend and need.
Don't be interdependent on these niggas.
Now you depending on a Chinese man. You was depending on a white man. Like no.
Yeah, you just switched from white to yellow. You know what I'm saying? Don't get on they teat.
Yeah.
Stay off they teat. And I think that about wraps us up for news on this week's episode of This and the Third.